Chapter 14, probability, brown-eyed female. Turn to the brown-eyed female activity. So what I did in class today is I randomly chose 10 boys and girls and came up with a separation as far as if they have blue eyes, brown eyes, or green eyes, and if they're male or female. So this is an example of one of the classes that I had. On all of them, I went ahead and told everybody, make sure you show your work, and you don't have to reduce. So just keep it as here. So for this first one here, you can see that male, female, these here are disjoint probability, because if I'm not male, then I'm female. These here are also disjoint probabilities because because blue eyes, brown eyes, and green eyes do not have anything in common. So this, if I have blue eyes, I do not have brown eyes, and I do not have green eyes. So there's no overlap. I also wanted to point out here, not only are these disjoint, but male and female are complement, because if I'm not male, then I have to be female. With these, blue eyes, brown eyes, and green eyes, these are not complements, because if I don't have blue eyes, then I could have brown or green. So it's not one or the other. Now I could categorize this as 3 out of 10 have blue eyes and 7 out of 10 do not have blue eyes. Then those would be considered complements. All right, these next on number 3, they're considered mutually exclusive. And because they're mutually exclusive or disjoint, that means the same thing. There is no overlap. So when I ask for male or female, I just add the probabilities. Male, 5 over 10, female, 5 over 10. So that's 10 over 10. Blue or brown eyes, 3 out of 10, plus 6 out of 10, which is 9 out of 10. For the next one, find the probabilities. And for this one, these do have an overlap. And so the first thing, male is 5 out of 10, blue eyes is 3 out of 10, but one of those people were male and had blue eyes, and so I counted them twice. So we have to subtract the overlap to get 8 out of 10 minus 1 out of 10 to get 7 out of 10. Same with female or brown eyes. I have 5 out of 10 females. I have 6 out of 10 brown eyes, but 3 of those get counted twice, so I need to subtract them out. Because if I don't, obviously I'm over 100%, which is impossible. And so if I subtract it out, that's because the 3 ladies got counted twice that had brown eyes. If you find each of the following probabilities and explain why your answer makes sense, not green because it's the complement rule, 1 minus 1 over 10. Not male because 1 minus 5 over 10. If I have green eyes, not green eyes, those are complements. Because green eyes plus not green eyes equals 1. Male and not male, 5 out of 10 plus 5 out of 10 is 1. There's no overlap. The 2 big learning ideas that I'd like you guys to write down for today are Venn diagrams and 2x2 tables. And if you notice, what I always tell people the best thing to do is to start with the overlap. So you can see this here, A and B, that is the overlap in the Venn diagram as well, area 1. Area 2, be careful, that's all of A that is not B. So when I add the total, all of A is 1 plus 2, which would be 3 if I was adding these total. But that area 2 is just A that is not B. Same thing for B that is not A. And then 4 is it's not A or B. So for instance, A would be like owning a dog, B would be like owning a cat, and there's 4 people in area 4 that don't own a cat or a dog. The general addition rule, which is on your formula chart, is probability of A or B, which is the probability of A plus the probability of B minus the overlap, which is A and B. If they're mutually exclusive, though, remember A and B is 0 since there's no overlap. They cannot occur together. So the probability statement is probability of A or B is all of A plus all of B. For check for understanding, sometimes they don't give you the totals and you need to go ahead and add up the totals, and so that's what I did. And then for number 1, explain what PGC means and find the probability. Well, the little c means the complement. It means one that is not. And G means graduate, so it's just looking for those that, the complement of the graduates, those that did not graduate. So since I look and I see graduates and I go to graduates, and that is going to be 310 out of 500. Those that did not graduate are the opposite, which is 190 out of 500, which is 38%. Explain why P, G, or H does not equal PG plus PH. And the whole reason is because there's an overlap. Graduate and homeowners, if you notice, look at what's the probability of graduate. Graduate is 310 out of 500. Probability of homeowners is 340 out of 500. Now I've got more than 500 out of 500, more than 100%, because you can see that 221 high school graduates are also homeowners, and they got counted in my 310 of high school graduates, and they got counted in my 340 of homeowners. So they got counted twice. So that's why it does not equal what it's proposing on number 2. A Venn diagram, the easiest way to do is start with that overlap of 221 and then put the 89, which is the 89 represents those that are high school graduates but not homeowners, and the 119 are those that are homeowners but not high school graduates. And then 71 are not a homeowner and not a high school graduate. The last thing says, write the event is not a high school graduate but is a homeowner. So complement of G and H. Not a high school graduate and homeowner. So that's not a high school graduate. What I would do here, I'd go, okay, and homeowner, 119 over the total of 500. All right, thanks so much for listening.